Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam, here with my brief thoughts on Transformers Rise of the Beasts. This was directed by Stephen Caple Jr., the director of the excellent Creed 2, and the movie starred Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback. I hope I got that name right. And this is the eighth Transformers movie, if you're counting Bumblebee and The Transformers from 1984. The Autobots are back. This time around, they must team up with the Maximals, Transformers in the form of animals, in order to combat Unicron and his various henchmen. In January of 2021, I did a video where I reviewed every Michael Bay Transformers movie. Yes, I am still recovering from that, but it'll be in the link in the eye in the right-hand corner. Do check that out. I have seen all of the Transformers movies by this point. I've even watched The Transformers and rewatched Bumblebee in preparation for Rise of the Beasts. And I can definitively say that The Transformers, Transformers 1 and Dark of the Moon, and Bumblebee are really the only good ones. The rest of them are garbage, simple and plain. And I'm someone who defends Michael Bay on occasion. I don't think he's the hack that people claim him to be. However, he's made some wretched garbage. That is what I will say. Bumblebee was a pleasant surprise and really about as good a cure-all as you could possibly expect after the trash that was The Last Knight. So when I heard that a Beast Wars Transformers movie was going to be made, I was not excited for it. The Transformers was a little bit before my time, I should say. The only Transformers I know were the Michael Bay stuff, and I've seen some stuff retroactively for it. But I don't know, I just felt like Paramount was just desperate because Transformers movies make money, and they gotta have something Transformers related in theaters. But while this movie is far from perfect, I got a kick out of Rise of the Beasts. I thought it was fun in bursts. First and foremost, I love the design of, first of all, the Autobots. I like Optimus Prime's design. I like Bumblebee's design. I like even Mirage's design. And oh, we'll get to him, don't you worry. I even like the design of the Maximals. I like Optimus Primal's design the best. I think his was the best out of everyone. Visually speaking, I really like what they did, kind of cleaning up all the designs of the Autobots to make them look really cool. I even like Unicron's design and his henchmen. I thought they were very intimidating. The main henchman, I believe his name is Scourge, was kind of giving me Mouth of Sauron vibes. The two humans that are on screen the most are Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback, and they were both very good. Anthony Ramos especially, I thought, was good. I've liked him since I saw him in the Heights a couple years ago, and I'm glad he is getting more work. And Dominique Fishback is good in this as well. I hope she gets more roles after this, because she was quite good. With that being said, though, the movie is not perfect, like I said, and really, I think the biggest problem that I have with the movie is pretty much concentrated in one character, Mirage. He's voiced by Pete Davidson, and to be completely honest, I've never been a big Pete Davidson guy. His style of humor has just never worked for me. I'm sure he has his fans, and I completely understand where they're coming from. I've never understood like why people like him so much. And his humor in this movie is so like it's trying so hard to be humorous that it just kills the movie for me in certain places. There are certain jokes I just died from cringe. Like it was so bad. There was one where the joke was basically because he's a transformer and Anthony Ramos's character has been inside of the car in car form, or the transformer in car form. Basically, he makes the joke of, "Friends, you've been inside me." It's yeah, it's bad.
Whose brain works this way? Whose brain operates in this fashion?
What makes it especially worse is the fact that Mirage is on screen for about 90% of the time.
Pain.
Compounding that fact is just the sound design of the movie. Because when the Transformers are on the screen, whether it's Autobots, Maximals, or Unicron's group, the Terracons they're called, the sound design gets the sound gets so loud and so pulse pounding. I got a headache watching it. That never happens. So I'm not trying to make stuff up or complain out of turn. I normally don't get headaches in movies. I go to the RPX or IMAX all the time. Doesn't bother me. This movie, it gave me a migraine in certain places. That never happens. So when I bring it up because it was legit. And the movie beats you over the head with the fact that it takes place in 1994 with just the nonstop soundtrack that we get from it. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the songs on this are really good and songs that I actually go out of my way to listen to. But it has no context outside of the fact that just to beat it over the head that the movie takes place in 1994. I was just in my head thinking to myself, is there any more 1994 references you could cram in there? How about Lex Luger body slamming Yokozuna on the USS Intrepid? The movie takes place in New York City. I'm kind of surprised there weren't any more WWF references. Anthony Ramos's character has a little brother. They call each other Sonic and Tails. It's cute and all, but you could never get away from the 90s references. And I'm sure that's going to work for some. And I watch a ton of 90s commercials, so I'm not complaining about their existence. It's just in the movie, it was just so incredibly distracting. That's my point. I do have one more problem and one more thing that I found intriguing about the movie. However, I can't talk about it without spoiling it. So I'm going to choose this as a good stopping point to give my official rating, which is a good rating. I thought the movie was fun in parts, very annoying in other parts, but I consistently liked both Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, which means 2 Transformers movies in a row, and I actually liked both of them. Transformers is in a good place, especially after just the tedium that was Age of Extinction and just the last night, which might as well have been Michael Bay just emblazoning on a banner saying the phrase, "I have given up." If you are excited for the Transformers and like the Transformers, you're going to like this movie. Plain and simple. But I pass it off to you. What did you think about this movie? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And if you don't want to have the movie spoiled for you, if you have not seen it yet, skip past this part. See you in the next one and all of that. But I'm going to be talking a few spoilers from this point onward. So if you don't want to have it spoiled for you, thank you so much for watching. But if you have seen it, let's continue on. Here's one point of this movie that I really didn't like, and one point that I actually found quite intriguing for the future of this series going forward. The thing that I really didn't like about this movie, and really my biggest problem, is what they do with Bumblebee. Because, well, Bumblebee dies in this movie, and he gets brought back. Literally what they did in the Bumblebee spin-off movie. And it's not like in the spin-off movie where Bumblebee dies and Haley Steinfeld's character has to basically play a part in reviving him. It's like Bumblebee dies, and then he has to chill for a little while and then come back and make a dramatic comeback. Why even have him in the movie to begin with? I mean, the dude has literally had his own spin-off, and yet he dies, and then he's just brought back. What was even the point of having him here? I would have rather had Mirage die and have him brought back and have Bumblebee in for the rest of the movie, because Bumblebee was 1,000 times less annoying than Pete Davidson's annoying ass. And also, what's the point of even giving Bumblebee his own spin-off if you're just going to kill him in the next movie and then just to bring him back? I just was not a fan of it. And here's the thing about the movie that I actually found intriguing and what I think is going to happen with the Transformers going forward. So there's not a post-credit scene, but the scene before the credits. It's the last scene of the movie. Everything's wrapped up, happy ending, whole nine. Anthony Ramos gets a job interview, and it's going pretty well until the guy who's played by Dean Stamper, or Doug Stamper from House of Cards. I know this actor's been in a ton of stuff, but I just think of him as Doug Stamper from House of Cards. Anyway, Stamper from House of Cards basically is like, hey, what did all happen in Peru anyway? And Ramos is like, I think I need to go. But then it's quickly realized that Stamper was in on it the whole time and was like, hey, listen, this is a job offer, but it's not for the job that you think. If you accept, we're going to take care of your brother. His brother had various health issues throughout the movie. And basically saying we could use a man like you in the field. He hands him a business card. Stamper goes off into the secret room and is like, think it over. And then, as Anthony Ramos' character is feeling the card, he flips it over, and the card has on the back, yes, indeed, Pumpkin Seed, it is a G.I. Joe logo. So yeah, I guess the Hasbro Cinematic Universe is indeed a thing and might be happening, question mark? You know, I remember watching Collider Movie Talk rather religiously back in like mid to late 2016, and I remember them bringing up the Hasbro Cinematic Universe quite a bit. It was like Transformers and G.I. Joe, and I believe it was the Micro Machines or the Micronauts. It was going to be a rather kind of like an MCU style, but with Hasbro and their various properties. It never got off the ground because I believe, if my memory serves me right, the last Transformers movie, Last Night, did okay, but not enough to justify it. And the last G.I. Joe movie we've gotten in theaters was in 2011, and it was okay. But then remember, it was the sequel to the G.I. Joe Retaliation piece of crap, where they cast Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Cobra Commander. Play the Ron White clip.
You can't fix stupid.
I bring this up because, honestly, I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with this. And I'm sure there will be some who are rolling their eyes saying, like, Ryan, I am not at all interested in this. And I totally understand. But considering how over the top a franchise like G.I. Joe and Transformers are, I'm low-key kind of surprised that they didn't do this sooner, and I kind of want to see where they go with this. I want to see Cobra Commander and Megatron, like, teaming up to form, like, a Legion of Doom, if you will. I kind of want to see that now. Will it happen? I honestly don't know. I believe Rise of the Beasts made about 100 million this weekend, so it's looking like, yes, it might actually be happening. So I might be in the minority, but I kind of want to see where they go with this. But if you did like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel and click the bell to allow notifications, so when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.